Hey guys, today we're watching the second episode of Star Trek Continues, and this episode is called Lolani. For this one, I haven't really seen the thumbnail or the description, so I am going in completely blind. I have no idea if this is going to be based on another episode from the original series or not, and so we're going to find out as we watch another episode of Star Trek Continues. Hope you guys enjoy, and thank you guys for watching. I will see you in the comments. Huh. I just noticed the aspect ratio is like the old, like 4:3. Was it like that in the first episode? I guess I never noticed.
We've received a distress signal from an unidentified vessel. Mr. Spock has requested your presence on the bridge.
What you reading?
Continue this later.
What you got there? Okay. Don't tell me. Whatever.
Looks like a Begolf class private transport.
Australia?
New Zealand, sir. Instant Tongaroa. Spent some time studying ship designs of different cultures.
Very good.
New Zealand. Kiwi. No Chekhov, I guess.
Vital signs are erratic. Life support systems are failing.
Uhura, have the sick bay standing by.
Aye, sir.
It may not be prudent to beam aboard an unknown life form, Captain.
It wouldn't be the first time we just beamed something up without testing to see if it was safe or not.
Beam the life from aboard. Mr. Spock, would you care to join me?
Mr. Scott, you have the bridge.
That was strange.
Why would they both say that? That was strange. Kirk's the one who should be... Well... After Kirk, it would be Spock. If they both leave at the same time, then maybe... What are we looking at? Somebody who's very
Jinx,
pretty, I
Captain
imagine?
Jinx. It's something people used to shout when they said the same thing at the same time.
The life form could not be confirmed as Tellarite, but knowing the volatile nature of that species, I would recommend
Tellarite.
caution. Jinx?
See? You've got it already.
Orion? Orion girl?
We have an intruder aboard. Seal off deck 4.
Looks like she didn't cut him. I think it's a she. Yes! I really have to figure out how... I don't really feel like painting my skin. But if I could get the outfit and then maybe do some like Photoshop magic to make my skin green.
We won't harm you. We're your friends.
It's all right.
It's all right. He's our chief of security, Drake. He won't harm you either.
There you go, Spock.
Oh, that could have gone smoother.
Weaponry
Could have gone
often
worse.
complicates negotiation.
What was an Orion slave girl doing on a Tellarite ship?
She was confused when she came to, but she settled down during our tests. She has been in a scrap. I also detected traces of blood that are not hers.
Captain, further scans of the transport reveal the bodies of 3 Tellarites.
Agreed. You and Mr. Spock beam over and see what you can find out.
She was sold 4 days ago to a Tellarite merchant by the name Sev Bim Jor.
Careful, Captain. The power of the Orion pheromones.
Spock, it's... What's your name?
He's like, she doesn't need pheromones.
We need to know your name and what happened.
Approximately 70 years ago, Orion women held dominion over the men, and after a civil war, the men gained control. Rather than abolish the slave trade, they continued it. The women are bred with no education or opportunity.
Oh, that's awful.
Slaves to the man.
Oh,
Why does anyone have to
she's
be a
bad.
slave to anyone?
Dr. McCoy requested my presence.
Either she can't speak or won't speak.
Well, it's hard to believe she spent years around slave traders without picking up any language at all.
Lolani,
Oh, she'll speak to a woman.
I apologize if I've harmed anyone. I was born and raised off-world. When my parents died suddenly, I was returned back to Orion and forced into slavery.
Oh, she didn't grow up there.
I'm so sorry.
Please don't send me back there. You have no idea what it's like.
Easy. We'll do anything we can to help you. If she's medically cleared, maybe we could move her to guest quarters.
Are you sure, Captain?
It's fine.
Did she do something to him? Maybe there's more to her than what she's saying.
Could she be granted some sort of asylum?
The Orion system is not a member of the Federation. We cannot participate in any act that would be perceived as a challenge to their sovereignty.
Oh.
The owner has already been notified and is en route to you.
Well, that's a
The
frustrating
Federation
situation.
certainly does not condone the slavery of any life form.
No.
We cannot risk an interstellar incident over one girl.
Could you risk an interstellar incident over a whole race of women? I mean, I'm surprised they let this go on for this long.
Those are some pretty nasty bruises.
I'm not sure if this backstory of the Orions, like how much of it is canon though.
What a beautiful ship. And men and women working alongside each other equally.
Well, the Federation sees no difference between the rights and abilities of men and women.
One gender isn't stronger than the other?
We're each individuals with our own strengths and weaknesses. We're not defined by our gender.
Sounds like a dream.
I was about to say that. Sounds like a dream.
It's a good dream, Lolani. One worth holding on to. And this is the command bridge. Usually everyone is working.
Feel free to have a look around.
I would be distracted.
Scott, chief engineer of this entire ship. I make sure everything functions correctly. Would you care to see my station, lassie?
I love him. I love him so much as Scotty.
We're allowed to continue our investigation, but as far as she's concerned, our hands appear to be tied.
So you're giving up?
I'm not giving up.
Sounds like you're giving up.
I'm not giving up.
We cannot simply return this girl to a life of servitude and slavery.
Dr. McKenna, I'll do everything I can.
Do you always challenge each other in this manner?
No, not always.
Well, I read in some cultures such challenging between males and females is considered a mating ritual.
Not in this culture.
Yes, I mean, no, yes to the no.
Yes to the no.
I observed something else as well. Women in uniform command the respect of their peers.
I've got something for you I think you're really gonna like.
Is she gonna get a uniform?
The mercenaries were engaged in a firefight, which compromised both the navigational and life support systems.
And what about the merchant, Sev?
He did not die from a phaser, but from a deep puncture wound to his throat.
With her knife. Yeah.
I believe she was more involved in this incident than she has revealed.
See what other information you can gather and return to the ship.
She had someone else's blood on her, so.
Come in.
Well, she didn't change yet.
How are you enjoying your quarters?
I'm feeling very spoiled, Captain.
I brought you a book.
Thank you. What's it about?
It's about a once great Earth civilization that collapsed from within due to its own moral decay.
Rome?
Could happen in any culture where people forget the ideals that made them great. I also have some questions.
Please, sit. It's in my nature to be a good hostess. What's the use in fighting our natures?
We also learned that the merchant was killed by a knife wound to the throat.
So not a question. You are bad at this, Captain.
She's such a tease.
You need to tell me what happened.
They began touching me. The one who bought me got angry and they started fighting. I hid in the corner and closed my eyes. And when the noise stopped, I opened my eyes and they were all dead.
That story isn't consistent with the facts.
If you were enslaved, wouldn't you be grateful just to be free?
I would, but the truth always matters. The one who sold you is on his way here.
He is a brutal man.
There's still maybe
Please
time.
don't send me back to him. I was paralyzed, and now I can dance.
Oh, she gonna dance? It's a bit awkward. I mean, I know there's music playing, but it's a bit awkward without music, you know?
This is a bad idea.
We are free to do whatever we like.
This has got me really interested about the Orions, because I don't really know too much about them.
Please, bridge to Captain Kirk.
It'd be funny if green all over his face.
Mr. Spock and Chief Drake have returned from the Tellurite ship.
Have them meet me on the bridge.
Aye, sir.
That was wrong of me. I know what you're trying to do, but seducing me is not the answer.
No, Captain, that was wrong of me. I'm sorry.
You're right about one thing. Everyone has the right to be free. I'll do whatever I can to help you. I promise.
What a horrible situation to be in. Like, the Enterprise, the crew and everybody have to abide by the rules of the Orions and their slavery.
Hello?
This is where I'm gonna have to leave your ship forever.
I'm sorry.
I should be the one apologizing to you. I held a knife to your throat.
Oh yeah.
You remember me?
She did.
I cannot forget this face. Does this man have a name?
Matthew.
A monster is coming to take me back to Orion. Please don't let him.
How can I help you?
What if we were to fly away together?
I don't blame her for trying everything she can to get out of this situation.
The merchant Sevbim Jor and the second mercenary were killed by a fourth participant. I know that Orion women can be very persuasive, and we mustn't allow ourselves to be deceived. She is no longer an unfortunate slave captain.
I mean, she's still an unfortunate slave. I'm not saying murder is right, but she's still an unfortunate slave at the end of the day. Oh, he's really gonna... I mean, they were talking about the pheromones.
The shuttlecraft bay doors have been activated.
Seal the doors. Have security meet me at the hangar deck. Mr. Drake?
Captain.
I'll deal with you in a minute.
I would do anything to keep from going back to Orion. This isn't his fault. He was only trying to protect me.
Confine her to quarters.
Matthew, forgive me!
Lolani! Stand down.
She's just trying to use you.
And we can't let her be a slave again to anyone! Get a hold of yourself, mister!
What I won't tolerate is insubordination on my ship. You're confined to quarters until your next duty shift.
Captain, please.
Poor Matthew. Matthew, be glad you're not getting harsher punishment.
Bones, is there anything that can protect our crewmen against the effects of the Orion pheromones?
Ship-wide inoculation can be ready at your command.
Just start inoculating immediately. Where's Lolani?
Oh,
Isn't it lovely?
it's not a uniform.
I feel almost like a princess.
You look lovely.
Captain, I'm sorry for what I did. It won't happen again.
We've pieced together most of what happened on the Tellarite ship, but there's one important piece of information still missing.
I told them everything I remember.
It's not uncommon for someone who's been traumatized to block out memories that are just too painful.
That's why Mr. Spock is here.
Oh, mind meld. You about to get mind melded.
It won't hurt you in any way. Please trust us, Lolani.
I trust you.
Our minds are coming together. I see what you see.
They're looking at me. They come towards me. One touches me, then the other. Sevbim Jor protests, but what is on top of me?
Oh my gosh.
I fire.
Sevbim Jor is wounded.
There's a knife in my hand.
She took out 3 of them.
Will you send me to some Federation prison?
You're not subject to our laws.
But you will send me back. The bruises on my body are not from the Tellarites. Zamenhof beats his slaves.
We do not have the authority to...
To do what? To make a difference? Well, I could. I could be the voice for women who have none. Not if you send me back in chains. Please, Captain.
Okay, but like... I'm really frustrated. This is making me really mad.
And then what? We just hand her over as if she's property?
Under Orion law, she is.
Yeah, like, what can we do about it?
You saw what happened to her. You felt it. Isn't that bigger than some planet's immoral law?
But it could start like a war. It could...
I empathize with her.
And there are many more like her. Can you imagine what will happen to her when she's returned? The Orions are not known for their civility, gentlemen. She could be beaten to death. Starfleet isn't here. If they were, perhaps they'd see things differently.
But it'd still be bound by the same laws that we are.
This is giving me TOS vibes of the fact that I'm feeling like this is bigger than them to handle. But then maybe Kirk will pull off his, Kirk ways.
Serve him a civilized dinner he won't soon forget.
Okay, what do you have planned?
All right, gentlemen, are we ready?
It will be interesting to see how he responds should we not return his property.
Well, we may have no choice, Spock.
Oh, he's a big green man.
Captain Kirk, it's the honor to board your fair ship.
It's an honor to have you, sir.
I'm just but a small, simple businessman.
We've prepared a dinner. We'd love to know more about you and your people.
I've never been the one to turn down a free meal.
I'll join you shortly.
Take as much time as you want, Captain.
Well, he seems very nice, but...
Now that was unexpected.
He seems nice. Not a slave trader.
For a slave trader. Well, of course he's putting on his best behavior.
I mean, besides, we've all been inoculated anyway, so the Orion woman, she's not a threat. I'm to deliver a message regarding her owner.
I'll be right outside.
Matthew.
I had to see you. I wish there was some way I could help you.
Can you make Zamenhof disappear?
Hmm.
And your captain is gonna let that happen?
Captain Kirk is a good man, but he can't disobey Starfleet.
I read once, the only thing necessary for evil to triumph is for good men to do nothing.
How can someone like me prevent it?
Someone like you?
What can I do? I'm nobody.
Everybody's a nobody until they decide to be a somebody. Right?
I feel like I'm screaming and no one can hear me!
I hear you, but I'm sorry.
Why did you come here for? Poor thing, it's kind of messed up.
What is this delicious meat?
It is called eggplant.
Wonderful. It tastes almost like a wing slug. There's also a scream when it's boiled. And what is this beverage?
Earth wine called Shiraz.
I can't take the alcohol.
I should have can.
We know. Why aren't they drinking Tranya?
Are the males of your species gifted with a similar biochemical control?
Yes, we do have a certain natural scent that can attract the desired mate.
The wink. Look at her face. That was good. That was
Lolani
good.
says you're a brutal monster.
She's a very troubled girl. I treat her well.
Please forgive Mr. Scott.
Then where'd she get the bruises?
No apology necessary.
He sure has charisma.
I'm happy to be an ambassador for my culture. Don't hold back. Just ask me any question.
I've heard that your females are actually quite comfortable and happy in their standing.
That's right, Captain. Our women have no purpose. It falls upon the men to give them direction.
Now that I can understand. Take Dr. McKenna here. She certainly benefits from my guidance as a man.
Just give him a moment.
How much would you
He
pay
has a
for her?
plan.
Excuse me?
How much is she worth?
This woman's educated, civilized. Slavery's not for her kind. Captain, don't be unreasonable. She's clearly learned and capable.
And what about Lolani?
Mm-hmm. True.
She's consumed a wealth of learning as you've consumed your food. She's not a slave. She's a woman with a fundamental right to be free.
I mean, it's all very nice that you say, oh, she's a woman, but they have a different definition of what a woman is.
With your permission, Captain, I'd like to take my leave and return with my Lolani.
That didn't work.
Fascinating.
Can't
but
reason with...
Not unexpected.
Yeah.
What did you hope to accomplish, sir?
Well, I hoped that if he saw Lolani the way we do, perhaps he wouldn't take her away.
Well, it didn't appear to work.
No.
Any other ideas?
Nothing.
I believe it may be time to say goodbye.
I'll tell her.
No. Is Matthew gonna come jump at him or something?
Well, well, well. You have them eating out of your hand. I'm a brutal monster. When I get you back, you're gonna regret the day you ever imagined yourself as anything but a slave!
Whoa! The drop kick! Let's go! The Kirk drop kick!
Reveal to them the animal you really are! This is my property.
Civilized men do not treat people as property. But if that's all you understand, how much do you want for her? I wish to buy her from you. I wish her free from you by any means.
No.
Why?
Because it pleases me to deny you. Beam us back to my ship, or when I'm done with you and your Starfleet, you'll be lucky to command a Gamma Scout.
Oh.
I shouldn't have to tell you that what you did was completely irresponsible.
I know.
His actions prove that we are condemning this girl to a life of physical and mental torture.
Yes, but the Federation doesn't seem to give a flying fuck. They've let it go on this whole time. They know this shit's been happening.
She was fighting for her safety, her freedom.
The Federation will not commit an act of war over one slave. Captain, you will return Zamenhof and the slave girl Lolani to his ship. You have your orders. Starfleet out.
I've never been so mad about an episode before.
Thank you for the fine dinner, Captain. May our paths never cross again.
Likewise.
Matthew!
Energize.
Why is Matthew the one who has to do it? I mean, I guess that's his post, but still.
Permission to leave my post, Captain.
He didn't,
Grant.
he didn't give you permission until after you
McCoy
left.
told me he inoculated the crew.
He did, sir.
It's not gonna end like that, is it? Cause I'm ready to, like, I need someone to punch. He's crying. Come on. The Federation.
Do whatever I can to help you. I promise.
You have no idea what it's like.
The Federation will not commit an act of war over one slave.
Her name is Lolani.
Kirk's not done.
All hands, this is the captain.
Yes?
I'm about to violate a direct order from Starfleet Command. I take full responsibility for this action. Any of you had the opportunity over the last few days to meet the young Orion girl that was aboard. Her name is Lolani. Close the distance to Zamenhof's ship. Transporter room, stand by to beam Lolani aboard.
But I mean, this is great and all, but he'll lose his post as
Transporter room.
captain. What in the world just happened? Did she do that? That was her only way out. What a messed up situation. You know, I never really thought too much about it. Orion slave girls. I never thought about, like, exactly what that meant. It sounds silly, but I was just so focused on, like, oh, it's the pretty dancing green girl, you know? The decline and fall of the Roman Empire. What is this? She left a tape?
If you found this recording, it means I have failed. My death will mean nothing. But perhaps Zamenhof's death will light a fire in my people and their allies. Those who witness inhumanity and do not act. The message of hope must go on. Thousands of young Orion girls are longing, desperate to live free. It is obvious I will not be the one to carry that message, though I pray another will. May this not be the end, but a beginning. Freedom at all costs.
Don't you guys say anything about anything that might happen with the Orions coming down later on in the series,
To take an extended leave, Captain. Visit family.
Would this family happen to be anywhere near the Orion system?
Yes, sir. Yes, it would.
Granted.
Thank you, sir.
You may need this.
It's so frustrating to watch. It was so frustrating. So I could be wrong, but this to me feels like possibly there are some changes that happen with the Orion people and the slavery that happens on their planet in a future series. And in, like, retrospectively, they went back and they were like, hey, let's make a story about, like, how this, like, sparked, how this started. So if that's the case, like, I really, really don't want to know. Right now, I'm feeling devastated, but a little bit hopeful. But I want to, like, I want to be able to kind of feel this anger and not to just be like, oh, well, it's going to get fixed later, so don't worry, because that would just trivialize it. And it's such a really tough situation because obviously, like, I don't know a lot about politics, and I know the scope of all of this is just so completely beyond me. My idealistic, naive self wants to think that the Federation would see this and say, you know what? We don't agree with this and we're going to do something about it. Because I understand non-interference. I understand keeping the peace between other civilized species, but is this really civilization? And it's messy because, like, the women, at first they enslaved the men, and now the men are enslaving the women, and these women who are enslaved probably had nothing to do with the previous enslavement of the men. They were just born into this world, and this is all they know. And I guess it's pretty easy for the higher-ups of the Federation to be like, let them do their thing, we'll do ours, we won't interfere, and, you know, we just won't think about it. But when you're in the position that Kirk has been put in, and the rest of the crew of the Enterprise, where they are face to face and sharing living space with this Orion slave girl who clearly is not okay with it, who wasn't born into it, not that it matters, and who wants to fight and who wants to start that change, that revolution by following the Federation orders of keeping the peace between the Federation and the Orions. They're also hindering her from making a change. So they're kind of like, it's kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't. Because while they're not impeding or intruding upon the Orion culture, they are impeding this change that could come about, that she could possibly start. I'm kind of shocked how much that affected me, how much that really got to me, because I remember thinking at one point I was feeling a little bit bored. But that quickly changed, and now this is, well, out of the 2 episodes that I've seen, this is my favorite Star Trek Continues episode. Now I'm trying to figure out what the tie-in to the book about the Roman Empire. I'm sure there are parallels. Well, the Romans had slaves. The slaves did try to revolt at some times. There's like the story of Spartacus, which I'm still not even sure how historically accurate that whole thing is. But I don't think any of those uprisings were really successful. And did those slaves have a big role in the downfall of the Roman Empire? Like, maybe it's a foreshadowing that the Orion way as it is now will crumble eventually. I don't know. Again, it just feels like possibly a foreshadowing to things that I am not supposed to know about yet. The guy who played as the Orion slave man, Lou Ferrigno, Zamenhof, he kind of reminded me of somebody, maybe Andre the Giant and his role in The Princess Bride. But I really liked this actor and this character that he portrayed. Not like, I didn't like, obviously I didn't like Zamenhof the slave trader, but I really got a kick of his acting and his charisma, the way that he was using his charm to kind of put people off their guard, myself included. I'm looking at his Wikipedia page right now, and I just saw the most amazing thing. I see that he is or was, I mean, he's still alive, but I don't know what he's still doing right now as far as professionally, but he's been a bodybuilder, an actor, and a personal trainer. And I see that he has a lot of roles as the Hulk. And I just read this quote here. Hearing loss and his speech impediment caused him to be bullied by peers during his childhood who called him deaf and mute. He began reading comic books such as Hulk and Spider-Man at the time, later saying, I was obsessed with power. I wanted to be strong enough so that I could be able to defend myself, which eventually made him take up bodybuilding. And I see that, like, he loved the Hulk and then he became the Hulk. That's amazing. This is one of those episodes that's going to stick with me because it ends on such a very tragic note. But I feel a little bit of hope with Matthew going to Orion. It seems like he wants to carry on her work to keep her dream alive and to make it a reality. So he's going to take the little tape and he's going to hopefully start something. So Matthew, I wish you luck, and just a really awesome episode. I loved that. I loved that a lot. And I am really feeling like I'm getting into my stride with these actors and stuff. And the writing has been really good again. So I'm really excited for more. Yeah, I'm really, really excited. Thank you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I know a lot of people have been suggesting Star Trek Continues over the past months. And well, I hope you guys are enjoying this. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.